Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we return with another emotional chapter in the lives of Ly Hoai Ca, a brave single mother, and Officer Hung, the compassionate police officer who has been her steadfast protector. His kindness, the very thing that has lifted her from the darkest depths of despair, continues to shine as a beacon of hope for both her and her child. In the previous episode, after many hardships and endless struggles, Ca and her child finally found a modest home, a place to feel safe, thanks to Hung's help. Though their new home was simple, it was theirs, and it offered the peace they had longed for. But as always, life had other plans. One fateful afternoon, while Ca was returning from the market, drenched in sweat under the unforgiving sun, a shiny motorbike pulled up in front of her humble shack. Out stepped a well-dressed woman, her face as cold as her tone. It was the daughter of the landowner. Without any pleasantries, she declared with chilling finality, "This land is now under my name." My mother owes me a large sum of money, and I have to sell this land to pay off the debt. If you want to stay, you need to pay me 6 million Vietnamese dongs within a week, or you'll have to move out. For Ca, 6 million Vietnamese dongs was more than just an amount, it was an insurmountable mountain. Each day, she sold vegetables, gathered snails, and saved every bit she could, just enough to buy milk for her child. Now, faced with the real threat of losing the one place she and her child could call home, Ca's world seemed to crumble once more. But this time, she would not back down. The storm was just beginning. The very next morning, before the sun had even broken the horizon, Ca set out. With her worn-out conical hat on her head and her child wrapped tightly in an old blanket, she began her journey. From house to house, she worked tirelessly, no task too small or too hard. Weeding, carrying fertilizer, even standing knee-deep in the mud while planting rice in the scorching sun, Ca did it all. She worked without rest, fearing that if she didn't make enough money in time, she and her child would be cast back into the unforgiving streets. What moved those around her wasn't just her resilience but the sight of her child, quietly resting on a piece of cloth beside her as Ca worked. Her baby, no more than 6 months old, silently endured the heat, the cold, the long hours, all while Ca continued, her spirit unbroken. The strength Ca showed every single day was a testament to her love for her child, a love that fueled her determination to keep their small family together, no matter the cost. Days passed in this tireless cycle of labor. When the sun blazed mercilessly in the sky, Ca still worked in the fields, her baby resting on her back. When it rained, Ca continued, her child wrapped in her clothes for warmth. The cold didn't matter. What mattered was that she was getting closer to the 6 million Vietnamese dongs she needed. The work was grueling, but every coin she earned was one step closer to securing her child's future, one step closer to holding on to what little they had left. Then, one evening, just as the last rays of the sun dipped below the horizon, Ca found herself face to face with the landowner's daughter once again. The woman, still as cold and unyielding as before, stood before her with an older woman by her side, both carrying an air of superiority. Ca's heart sank as the daughter demanded 10 million Vietnamese dongs, more than double the original amount, and with no room for negotiation. In a moment of desperation, Ca fell to her knees, clutching the small bundle of money she had managed to gather. Her baby stirred, crying softly as if sensing the deep sorrow radiating from his mother. "Please," Ca begged, "I've worked so hard, I've gathered everything I can. Let us stay." The woman simply looked at her, then turned to leave, not even sparing a second glance at the crumpled money. "If you don't have the full amount in 2 days, I'll have the house torn down," she coldly declared. Ca's heart shattered as she watched them walk away, the weight of her helplessness settling over her like a heavy fog. As the night settled in, Ca sat on the cold, hard ground, holding her child tightly. Tears she had held back for so long finally fell, silent and endless. Her hopes, her dreams, all shattered by the cruel words of the landowner's daughter. But then, in the midst of her despair, a thought appeared: Officer Hung. The man who had once helped her rebuild her life, the man who had shown her kindness when no one else would. Ca stood up, determination flooding her veins. She couldn't give up. Not now. Not after everything. She picked up her child, and with what little strength she had left, she made her way to the local police station. When she arrived, Hung was outside, watering plants. He was surprised to see her but smiled warmly, his gentle nature as comforting as always. But Ca, her head lowered, hesitated at the gate. She was afraid. Afraid of being a burden, afraid of what his mother might think. Hung, sensing her discomfort, reassured her, "Don't worry. You're always welcome here." Inside, Ca told him everything, about the money she had gathered, about the eviction, and how she now had only 2 days to raise the rest. Hung listened in silence, then, after a long pause, he turned to her with a calm resolve. "I'll help you. I promised, didn't I?" Without hesitation, he wheeled out his motorbike, and they set off together. The road was bumpy, but Ca's heart began to feel lighter with each passing moment. For the first time in days, she felt a spark of hope. Hung's presence was like a shield, protecting her from the harshness of the world. As they arrived at her home, Hung was already there, standing in front of the house. The landowner's daughter and her companion were approaching, but this time, things were different. Hung stepped forward confidently, his voice steady and unwavering. "I've reviewed the land records," he said. "What you're demanding is unreasonable." The landowner's daughter faltered, stunned by Hung's confidence. With no choice but to back down, she reluctantly agreed to the new terms. Ca's eyes welled up with tears as she watched them leave, the weight of her burdens lifted at last. Hung turned to her, his expression soft. "It's done. You can stay. Focus on your child and your work." "If you ever need help again, don't hesitate to come find me." Ca wanted to speak, to thank him, but words failed her. She had never known kindness like this before. As Hung rode off, she stood in the doorway, her heart full of gratitude and hope.